Keep your Cinema 4D projects very organized. Keep everything in a project folder, even projects you might think are minor. So this is an example. I have a Cinema 4D projects folder somewhere in a known location on my computer. Here's the name. Here's the name of the project I'm working on, with its own folder. It's called Vespa. That's a Italian scooter, if you don't know. And what I suggest is within the project folder, name it something that makes sense to you. Have a resources folder, and let me show you what's inside that first. I always put underscore resources so it comes up to the top. Within here, I'll have my blueprints. So this is the blueprints I'll be using for the project if you're using them, but also have any references in here, like any other drawings, images, whatever, that you'll be referring to during your project. Also in the project folder, have a renders folder. So any renders that you do, or videos, or you could also, when you do animation, you can have a separate animations folder or whatever. But any renders you'll output them to this renders folder. So the renders are within the project folder. And within the project folder, of course, is the actual C4D, files. And I highly recommend that you take advantage of the incremental save of Cinema 4D. So as you move through stages of your projects, save the files incrementally. Like when you get to a point where you're going to make a drastic change, save the file and save it incrementally. I did cover this in the Intro to Cinema 4D videos in that playlist, but let me refresh your memory. So we just have this plain old ordinary cube here, and it's called Cube. But like what I like to do is I like to save my files. I like to stick the number at the end. C4D will do this for you, 1, 2, 3, or 4, but it's just me. I like to put 001 at the end of my file, Cinema 4D file names. So that's 001, and then so I'm going to work on it, blah blah blah, and then when I make a drastic change, I'll click File, Save Incremental, and it'll save it as, it'll increment it by 1, and it'll be residing in the same folder. So and then I can do that for all eternity. I can keep saving incremental, but it's helpful to do that, because like when you get to a point where you like where your model is at, it's a really good idea to save incremental, because like if you mess stuff up, you can always go back to a previous version. So especially when we're working on a complex project, you don't want to just have one version of it. So I highly recommend you do the save incremental thing, and all your incrementally saved files will be in here. Again, the key thing I want you to remember: have an organized project folder in a known location. All your C4D files are residing there. All your renders are residing there, and all the resources that you're going to use are within there. Especially if you set up the project, the blueprints, you have to have the blueprints in this, in a folder structure that doesn't change. Okay, so keep the blueprints in a folder within your project folder.